Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Caught my wife, 29F, cheating on me, 29M, again after a year. Why do I question my own sanity? Advice. Hello everyone, this is my first post here and I just wanted to share, gather some opinions, and vent since I have no other channel available to me right now that gives me this opportunity, so I really appreciate to every single one of you who decides to read and share their honest thoughts from an outside perspective. Background: I'm 29M, wife 29F, and we have two beautiful girls under 4 years old. Bear in mind my wife suffers from depression. At one point, was hospitalized and was diagnosed as being suicidal. She takes medication, or at least should be taking medication as instructed. Story: I caught my wife having an affair back in December 2020. I didn't find out until a month later, January 2022, when my 2-year-old daughter gave me my wife's cell phone since it was out in the open in the living room. The lights popped up due to an incoming text message. The moment I got the phone, I noticed the text message said "I love you." I recognized the name, it was a close friend of hers, and my heart dropped. Not from that message alone, but the messages that were exchanged before. I was filled with anger, shock, disappointment, and darkness. I couldn't believe I was experiencing what I consider a nightmare. When I confronted my wife with her phone, I asked her, "What is this? What is going on?" I kid you not, the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, "Why are you even looking at my phone?" From there, I was even more angry than before. Could not believe what came out of her mouth. She didn't feel sorry until further down our conversation. However, now that I think about it, her sorry wasn't sincere. The fact that I had to dig it out of her. Even then, it's not how I would act at all if I was in her position. Anyhow, she tells me her side of the story and confirmed she had sexual intercourse with this guy on multiple occasions. She emphasized that she was super depressed, wasn't happy at the house, and that I wasn't giving what she needed, nor was I truly listening to her for a while. In general, she tried to play the victim and blame me for her actions. Of course, I did not know how to react knowing what I know now, so I took the blame like a fool. I literally blamed myself for her cheating. Devastation and heartbreaking doesn't come close to how I felt and how I feel now just thinking about it. I do not wish this type of behavior on anyone. Fast forward 1 month later, I decided that I wanted to continue our relationship and try to reconcile, but the only way for it to work was for her to break the affair and block this guy from all forms of social media outlets, messaging apps, etc. Literally erase this home wrecker from our family. She did that and I was there when she made the phone call and blocking him on all social media outlets. A year passes, and while we had some rocky moments, I felt like things were getting better. We continued to see a couples therapist once a week, and that lasted for 6 to 7 months. We ended the sessions thinking we no longer needed them and continued to practice what we gathered from the sessions. It's now February 2022, on a Saturday morning. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. to feed our cat. I go back to our bedroom and noticed her phone was out next to her. I simply wanted to close the phone and get back to sleep, but noticed it was the AP's username. I could not believe what I saw. I paused for a moment thinking this was all but a nightmare. I didn't scroll through the messages because that was more than enough for me. Everything that I thought ended a year ago all came back flashing before my eyes. This time, I was calm, collective, and didn't shout or scream in anger like I did the first time. I woke her up and asked, "Who is this? What's going on?" She didn't say a word for 5 to 10 minutes. It was complete silence. She then proceeds to explain that once again she wasn't happy, felt depressed, and didn't really stop having feelings for this guy. However, he only reached out to check up on me to make sure I was alive. At that point, I just couldn't trust what she said at all. The second chance, the little trust I still had for her, spat right back into my face. From there, She didn't apologize right off the bat. She tried to play the victim, justifying why she did what she did and that it was my fault for thinking we didn't need to continue couples therapy after the 6 to 7 months. I took a walk outside for 30 minutes, came back and said I want a divorce. I can't continue punishing myself even though I still love you. Ever since then, I've continued to question myself. My self-esteem has never been this damaged before in my entire life. I believe marriage is sacred because I was raised with that mindset. So now, we are in the process of getting a lawyer to prepare for the divorce process. I'm still trying to process everything, speaking with my friends for support, and so on. Once we are divorced, I plan to tell her family why we divorced rather than her trying to hide the truth. But what do you guys think? Should I? I feel like I should, to ensure they don't believe any lies that may come out her mouth to suit her own agenda. Lastly, 1. Why do cheaters like to play victim the moment they are caught? 2. Why do cheaters blame the betrayed spouse? 3. Why do I question my own sanity when I'm not the one who cheated? Again, thank you so much for everyone that took the time to read and share their thoughts. I hope everyone that has moved on is at a better mental state and is with someone who truly cares and respects you no matter how things unfold. Do some reading about gaslighting, Davo, and manipulation. Sounds like your STBX is an expert. Once you learn about these things you will have more clarity. And whatever you know about her cheating is only the tip of the iceberg. I wouldn't care about her depression, I would dump her like a bag of cancer. If she tries to manipulate up by threatening suicide, record it and call the paramedics. Having depression doesn't mean you get to cheat on your spouse. Obviously this is a doomed marriage, she's not happy, let her go. A prize. For a new phrase, dumping her like a bag of cancer. Duck her depression. You may push your partner to think about cheating, but nobody forces their partner to actually go through with cheating. That blame lays solely on the cheater. I would tell her to wait till I move out to do it. Had a manipulative ex try this on me, I told her I would be right over. She thought to save her, got my stuff out of her house and called the cops. If you want to self-delete, more power to you. She would just be saving him money in court fees. She will never be happy. Get a DNA test for your kids too, please. Please get a peace of mind DNA test. Yes, this is very important considering the scenario. Please get a DNA test too for all your kids. I would not wait until after the divorce to tell your side of the story. That is a lot of time for her to craft any narrative she wants. Get ahead of it. I disagree. The goal is divorce with the most favorable terms for op. Play nice guy, let her affair fog guide her. Once the divorce is settled, then don't hide the truth or lie to anyone. People almost always go with the story they hear first, true or not. She will paint him as an abusive piece of crap. Nip that in the bud. Honestly, people believe what they want to believe. For some, it doesn't even matter how much evidence you place in front of them, they will still believe in the falsehood. WP's family is going to support them no matter what. Friends will fall where they go. Honestly, you can find out who your real friends are through this. I have gone through this. Worry less about what you cannot control, what other people believe, and focus on what you can control, your actions in regards to the divorce. Don't hurt your divorce to try to convince someone. It's not worth it. True, they will defend her, then with evidence they'll just say I don't know what to tell you, give another chance. That's what I did. As soon as it was finalized, I buried her to everybody who knew her. I told them the truth, knowing that if they asked questions they would also find the same answer at the other end. Maybe if she would have been actually remorseful, and played nicely through the divorce, I would have treated her like a human being. The issue with that is even if Op shares the truth, now, the cheater can use it against him somehow as disparaging and it will not look good for him legally. It's best to wait. She is a narcissist just like my ex. My ex has never said sorry for her affair. You had to drag it out of her. This process is going to get very frustrating for you. She will play the victim role very well. Hey man, any updates on your side and any news from your ex? She started working out at the gym we used to go to at the same time I always went. I found that odd because she said working out in the morning was better than the afternoon when I went. I'll see if she is there this week. Other than that, she had been leaving me alone, which has been nice. I have been healing quite well. My ex-wife's apology was, "I'm sorry that you feel hurt over this," that was the best I got. And then she proceeded to roll out stories about me to her friends and family about me being abusive and toxic and having anger issues and being a bad father. If a man has some self-respect, puts some limits and boundaries, it is termed abusive by most of the women. This impacts real victims of abuse. It has become hard for me to trust women who claim they have been abused these days. I simply limit engagement with such women and pass no judgment. Sorry this happened to you. Blame shifting is common. It's upsetting because you know it isn't true. I'm no expert. I have heard enough about depression to know this covers a huge area of differing issues. Do people cheat because of depression? I would say no. Maybe if you talk to her doctor. Apparently her depression was not an issue in the first go-round of the affair. In the aftermath, you took the blame and went to marriage counseling. Nothing about depression. You led with depression, so I brought that up first. We all have a number of maladies and we all had them before, and some got better and some got worse and some we take medication for. So, what does this have to do with cheating? Either depression is a factor or it's not. If it is, describe it and elaborate more. If not, I won't go further on it. The cheating is run-of-the-mill cheating. Cliché. Commonplace. Cheating is when they break the rules of your relationship. In your case, having sex with another person and telling that person you love them and keeping it all a secret. Cheating is an escape from reality. It is fun. In the affair, there are no crying babies, worrying about their possible illnesses that they can't describe well, finances, chores, all those things we must do to survive and stay alive. In the affair, there is all compliments, boosting up each other. I love you, you love me, we love each other, you are so sexy, you are so cute, let's have sex. I think I covered it all. Tell me what I missed. So, that is enjoyable. You babysit the kids, I'll go have some sex and compliments. Deal? Good. Notice something that cheating is not? Leaving your spouse. That is not part of cheating. She could have left you a year plus ago or any other time along the way. Heck, she could have just brought it up to you, "I'm still not happy." Of course, this wasn't true, the unhappy excuse for the affair. She was happy enough. You were doing with your marriage what anyone possibly could. She knew that. I'm older than you and have been married longer, but I knew this younger than when you are now. Marriage isn't all fun and games. Most of the time you have to do stuff other than compliments and sex. The other things you read, maybe you got from your wife, maybe not, you don't do enough chores, stuff like that. Then again, the affair partner isn't doing any chores, either. The reason cheaters don't leave is because they don't want to, almost always tilde they want both the spouse and the affair partner. Some people say the cheater gets 70 to 80% of their needs from their spouse, 20 to 30% from all other people like friends, family, co-workers and, in your wife's case, an affair partner. They want it all in the marriage. One thing you can't have in the marriage is that new relationship energy, or infatuation, or limerence, butterflies, tingles. That goes away in long relationships. Another thing that the affair has is secrecy, a certain taboo element, that makes it more exciting. If you can eat ice cream every day, you stop craving it. When you can only get it every so often, you anticipate and build it up more. These are almost universal, not just in infidelity. Why do cheaters play the victim? Because they believe they are the victim. They believe the betrayed caused their unhappiness. If the betrayed had done all the right things and been the perfect mind reader, then the cheater wouldn't have had to cheat. The cheater would have been happy. They are unhappy because of the betrayed. You have a couple of young children. Don't they blame stuff because you said this or that? I was doing fine, but when you asked me a question, I feel you made me fall. Even adults do that. Why do cheaters blame the betrayed? Because they truly believe if you were a perfect mind reader, you would have met every single need or want she ever wanted and would not be unhappy. Let's agree that happiness starts from within. Another person cannot make you happy. If you are an unhappy person, and you get divorced, and you look for another relationship, and you still are unhappy, hopefully you will not say to yourself, all I need to be happy is find the right person, and have 2 kids. Now, if you are a happy person, and the person with you is doing all kinds of crap like your wife is, then maybe you will be temporarily unhappy while you go through it. Why do you question your own sanity? That I don't know. Maybe you are a little confused, or maybe you are too much into wanting this marriage and your wife and your family and lifestyle. It's kind of a self-centered obsession, as if you could control it. If you were to be the cause of it, then you would be able to fix it, and even in future relationships you would be able to control it by just doing all the right things. During the Super Bowl, how many fans, when their team is losing, will go sit in their special happy place to help their team win? Wouldn't it be nice if we could control the outcome of other people's minds and actions? Let me finish up with depression. Like T.S. Eliot, in my end is my beginning. Your wife is confused. Most cheaters get all turned around and whacked out. They misplace limerence for love, feel as if their spouse should read their minds, retroactively rewrite their history, and actually start to believe their own lies. Justify, rationalize, minimize, blame the victim. These are not just infidelity issues. Wrongdoers of all types of misdeeds do the same. Depression being a medical issue with medication and doctors diagnosing it almost definitely had something to do with her confusion. We can all get confused and still know right from wrong. But I don't think we can say that someone severely depressed is going to be as clear-headed as someone who is not. Rob a bank, and I still think if you get caught you're seeing jail time, depression or not. Wife left me and my 2 daughters for her AP rant. I need to vent because I am all over the place emotionally and mentally. In short, my wife left me and my 2 daughters, who are both under 4 years old, without saying goodbye, leaving a note, a text, or even calling. I noticed that when I went into our bedroom her luggage was gone and she took money out of our joint account to purchase a plane ticket to where her AP lives. At this point, I'm over what she did to me, but to leave your 2 children just like that? Not saying a single word? A note? Nothing? I did manage to get a hold of her via text, but she said that she didn't want to do anything with the kids because of me and that she wanted to be happy. She was tired mentally of the life she was living. She disrespected our children like they were just complete trash. Of course, I kept my anger to myself so I can be strong for my 2 kids who need me more than ever. I love them both and would never leave them like that, ever. The fact that my wife blames me for everything is astonishing. I will continue to be the best father I can be and help them grow to not be like their mom or ever do this to someone in the future. Anyways, I already have a lawyer for a set date to get this divorce and custody handled. I want to make sure that she has 0 rights of visitation and doesn't get near my kids ever again. She has no right to just dip into their lives whenever she finds it convenient. Thanks all for reading. Appreciate the kind words and best wishes for my daughters. Do your best, man, for your kids. I could be in a very similar situation with my wife. Be your kids everything and then some more. You've got this. Man up, this will come back to bite her in the ass. When she comes crawling back and she finds herself alone and her children resent her, the chickens will come home to roost. There is no bigger trash human than the type that leaves their children without so much as a note. The good news is you will have plenty of hate to ensure you don't take her back. Tell her family, tell your friends, tell the world. Let her selfishness define the rest of her life. Stay strong for the babies. Get a good lawyer. You could easily get full custody and probably get a lot with the divorce, push for alimony, child support and everything. And do it quick, before her rapee leaves her. Think with your brain, try to get the best outcome you can get for your kid. And it's a good choice to not allow contact, don't let her back into their life after, you can't put their mental health at risk. I think in my type of case a lawyer would have a blast with it. That is my goal. To get the best possible outcome. Keep records of everything. She will change her story when the kids grow up and can understand. I got everything screenshotted and saved a backup of each copy just in case anything happens. Either way, I have tons of ammo that I will supply my attorney with. This should be easy because I have her stated via text that she doesn't want anything to do with the kids, not even visitations. As if visitations were even going to be considered for this shit show of a performance. My kids are not some kind of trophy she can come back to and think everything is okay. I will make sure my kids do not grow up like their mother. My wife's mother is like this. She calls maybe once a year, and the conversation is always about her. She hasn't bothered to meet her grandkids even though the oldest is 4 years old. But when does she come to town? She acts like she played some big role in how well her daughter turned out even though she abandoned her kids when they were young. My wife is 40 years old and she's still holding on to the hope that one day her mom will change, and she's always miserable when her mom is back in her life. Thankfully it's not often. Good call on keeping your kids away from her. It will only remind them of the pain she caused if she does come around, and they'll never understand why she left. This should be easy because I have her stated via text that she doesn't want anything to do with the kids, not even visitations. As if visitations were even going to be considered for this shit show of a performance. Oh, that's excellent. Smoking gun, and you didn't even have to pay a pie or whatever to get it. Making a police report would be great too. I heard you could report abandonment of family after a certain amount of time has passed, not sure about when and the right time, but if you get particular documents and reports, you may have your case in full custody of your children. Good luck with it all. You are a good man and father. That's exactly what my ex-husband did to change the story. Make her accountable for child support. Also, be ready when it falls apart and she comes back begging to you. The day will come when she wants her kids. Get this locked down in law as fast as you can. Move fast while your STBXW is still in the affair fog. You can easily get full custody because of abandonment. The main thing is to have all the groundwork laid before she realizes the grass was not greener on the other side and wants to come back. You need to have it on record that she abandoned you and the kids before she tries to come back, because legally you are not supposed to kick her out, but you can legally keep her from coming back. Like everyone, I am sorry you have to go through this, but focus on being an awesome dad to your girls and then focus on you and your healing. The affair fog is shockingly potent and destructive to reconciliation, but it can also be your best friend when negotiating very favorable lopsided terms. Next few days are key. It is a peak affair because she gets to be with him all day long without any obstacles, but that means her affair is likely to crash and burn now. The whole sneaking around, secrecy, forbidden aspects and obstacles to their love made their relationship more intoxicating and lasted far longer than it should, but now that all of that is gone, their relationship is not gonna last long. So strike now, don't hesitate. Now really is the best time. She's in her honeymoon period, far divorced from reality and consequences of her actions. A good lawyer might be pricey, but the people I know who forked out a pretty penny all swear it is worth the price. Think of it as a long-term investment. You are paying now to give you and your kids the best legal future without her ruining your mental health, finances and disrupting you all moving on as best you can. Good luck. We are here for you. Stay strong, you are a good father and good things will come to you. Thank you among the many others that have shown their support. Even though we are all strangers here, we've all endured some form of the same pain. Things are rolling right now with my attorney, and I'm continuing to focus on my kids 100% while also trying to find peace and heal from what has happened. It really is tough for me to stop blaming myself, but I guess that's what happens to your mental health and process of thinking when you've been manipulated by a narcissist. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.